Not much good political news around, except the former National Party leader, I'll say something about this later, and Deputy Prime Minister John Anderson will offer himself to the National Party that he led to become a Senate candidate at the next federal election. It's an excellent decision. In Australia, political people of talent retire too early. On the Labor side, Paul Keating has been wasted for years. His fire, knowledge and combative style, Labor diehards desperately seek. And in the Liberal Party, of course, there's Tony Abbott, a magnificent intellect. Fancy a man who won 25 seats from the Labor Party in 2 elections, unwanted by the party leadership, but treated like a god when he walks amongst the membership. Politics desperately needs people like John Anderson and Tony Abbott. At 64, Anderson has heaps to offer in a party desperately in need of leadership. But away from all that, yet paradoxically central to the crisis in political leadership and its ability to come to grips with those things that matter to people in their everyday lives, I visited 2 very good friends of mine on Friday, an elderly couple. They're in an aged care facility. It's a beautiful place, lovely people, lovely atmosphere, beautiful gardens. The recurring theme was not enough staff. It was lunchtime. They told me how the tablecloths are even taken away before they can finish their meal. Lovely people, but the indignity of it all. A simple problem, not enough staff. Well, Pauline Hanson, forever on the wavelength of the people in Struggle Street, has written to the Queensland Premier in relation to the 148 recommendations from the Aged Care Royal Commission into Quality and Safety. Typically, Pauline Hanson makes a very simple point, quote, "Given the need for both state and federal governments to have a role in aged care facilities, I'm proposing to you and other state premiers that you initiate an immediate stop to the collection of payroll tax on these facilities," unquote. She adds, not-for-profit facilities are already exempt from payroll tax, which, as a consequence, boosts their ability to spend more on patient care when compared to a for-profit facility. Says Pauline, the ability of all operators to implement the recommendations of the Royal Commission is directly related to their profitability. The removal of state payroll tax will be of significant assistance to the sector in providing the level of care and environment every client deserves, unquote. Well, as you know, it's impossible to believe, isn't it, that governments carry on about jobs, 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 but every employer who gives someone a job is taxed. It's called payroll tax. Now, if someone visited from another planet and heard politicians rabbiting on about jobs, 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 and then heard that every time someone is given a job, the provider of that employment has to pay a tax for the privilege of giving someone work, the person from another planet would think we were stupid, and we are. Here I was at this lovely facility on Friday, and these 2 beautiful, uncomplaining people simply said, "Alan, there aren't enough workers. There aren't enough staff. Without adequate staff in any aged care facility, you diminish the dignity to which our elderly are entitled." Pauline Hanson hits the nail on the head when she wrote, "By freezing payroll tax collection across the sector, state governments have the opportunity to play a vital role in meeting what is one of the greatest challenges of our time, the care and well-being of older Australians," unquote. Well, spot on, Pauline. Now let's see whether Annastacia Palaszczuk and other premiers are fair dinkum when they mouth platitudinous nonsense about caring for the elderly. Here's the test. Exempt aged care facilities from payroll tax and improve staff levels. By ripping off the employer, you're actually diminishing the quality of care to which our elderly are entitled. Governments are good at rhetoric. Here's an opportunity to match it with a bit of action. I'll keep you posted, but I think you already know the answer. That is, if Pauline Hanson is given the courtesy of an answer. What are your thoughts? Email alan@skynews.com.au, and the text line tells us everything, 0414 000 848. And of course, you can listen live to this program on the iHeart Radio app. It's Monday, March 8.